morning everyone. Today we shall discuss the topic M phase, that is mitotic phase. Okay, actually we were discussing the topic cell cycle and I told you cell cycle is a series of events in which there is a duplication of DNA, a cell prepares itself for the purpose of division, and finally the cell will divide into two daughter cells. Okay, and then I told you there are two phases in the cell cycle. First one is interphase and second one is M phase. Interphase is also known as the resting phase. Basically this is the phase in which the cell prepares itself for the purpose of division. Okay, and M phase, that is the mitosis phase. In this phase the division process takes place. So here in interphase the cell prepares itself for the division, and in M phase the cell actually divides. So now actually what is happening in the interphase? How is the cell preparing itself for the division? Firstly, there are three subphases: G1 phase, that is gap 1 phase, S phase, that is synthetic phase, and then is G2 phase, that is gap 2 phase. Now how is the cell preparing? Basically firstly in the G1 phase, what is the cell doing? The cell no doubt is metabolically active. So the cell grows in size. So basically in this phase, that is in G1 phase, the cell is increasing in size. Now next is S phase, that is synthetic phase. In this phase the cell, you can say, replicates its DNA. Suppose if at G1 the amount of DNA that is present in the cell is 2C, then what will happen at the S phase? This 2C amount will get double and now it will be 4C. Okay, but the chromosome number will remain same. I'm again saying in S phase there is duplication of DNA. If earlier in the G1 phase there was 2C amount of the DNA, then in the S phase it will become 4C. But if I talk about the number of chromosomes, suppose at G1 phase the number of chromosomes is 2n, then in the S phase it will again remain 2n. There is no change in the chromosome number, but there is duplication in the amount of DNA. Plus one more thing is happening in the S phase along with the duplication of DNA. The centrioles, they are also getting double. Clear? Now in G2 phase again the cell is metabolically active and there is active synthesis of proteins. So these are the three subphases in the first phase. The cell increases in size and is metabolically active. In the second phase the cell duplicates its DNA and doubles its centriole, and then in G2 phase there is synthesis of proteins. So this is the interphase in which the cell prepares itself for the purpose of division. Now let us talk about the M phase, that is mitotic phase, in which actually the division will take place. Now if I talk about M phase, in M phase two activities are going on. First one is karyokinesis and second one is cytokinesis. Karyokinesis, karyo word is used for the nucleus. So basically firstly in M phase there is division of the contents of the nucleus, that is karyokinesis, and karyokinesis results in the formation of two daughter nuclei. Okay, basically the parent nuclei, it will divide into two daughter nuclei in case of karyokinesis. Now if I talk about cytokinesis, cyto means cell, or I can use it for cytoplasm. So cytoplasm means the division of the cytoplasm, and eventually the daughter cell will divide into two daughter, the parent cell will divide into two daughter cells. Clear? Now if I talk about karyokinesis only, then there are four sub phases. Okay, first one is prophase, second one is metaphase, third one is anaphase, and last one is telophase. So basically one by one we'll study about all these four phases. After that we shall study about the cytokinesis. Okay. First of all, let me draw the diagram of cell cycle. As you know, 95% of the cell cycle, the cell in the cell cycle, 95% of the time the cell is in which phase out of these two? Interphase. Clear? Firstly, G1 phase is there, then S phase is there, and then G2. So here you can see for the 95% of the time the cell is in interphase state only. Now if I talk about this 5%, this is being occupied which phase? M phase. Now in M phase I told you there is prophase. Prophase is just followed by G2 phase. Okay. Then metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and after that there is cytokinesis, and after that there is G0 phase. About this we had done earlier. Okay, the cell that doesn't divide, they just exit the G1 phase and then they enter in the G0 phase. Otherwise, if the cell is dividing, then they will follow this path. And if the cell is not dividing, like our heart cells, neuroglia cells that are present in the brain, skin cells, they exit the G1 phase and then they enter in the G0 phase. That is a kind of non-dividing phase, quiescent stage. Okay, now let us study about these phases one by one. So now our first phase is prophase. Now what is happening in the prophase? I am just drawing the diagram. Here I had drawn a cell. Okay. I'll make comparison. Firstly I am making early prophase and then late prophase. First of all, let me explain it. With the early prophase, suppose the cell is there. Inside the cell, as you know, there will be nuclear membrane, and inside the nucleus there will be chromatin material. Listen one thing, in the earlier stages chromatin material is there, chromosomes are not there. There is a difference between these two. Actually what is happening inside the cell in the normal condition, the genetic material, it is in the form of thread. Okay, and the thread is entangled like this, and this is known as chromatin material. So firstly the chromatin material is present. Clear? Now let us talk about what will happen in the prophase. First step, or I can say first peculiar feature of the prophase is condensation of this chromatin material. Now what will happen? This chromatin material, it will condense and it results in the formation of the chromosome. Chromosome, as you know, it is having the centromere at the center, and then there are two sister chromatids, first and then second. Am I clear? So first peculiar feature of the prophase is condensation of the chromatin material. So here in the late prophase you can see chromosome type structure. Clear? Like this I am drawing here. Now, as you can see here, I had drawn the nuclear membrane. Now what will happen in the late prophase? Basically this nuclear membrane, they will start disintegrating, means it will start dissoluting. Like, can you see this? Like this. Here again chromosomes are there. Clear? So there is disintegration of the nuclear membrane. First peculiar feature was there is condensation of the chromatin material, which results in the formation of chromosome, and then second, the nuclear membrane, it will start disintegrating. Clear? Third, ER, that is endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, these all will start dissoluting in the cell. Clear? So now the next peculiar feature is the centrioles. They will start moving towards the opposite poles. This is one pole and this is the another pole. So these centrioles, they will start moving towards the opposite poles and they will start the formation of the microtubules. Collection of the microtubules is known as spindle fibers. Clear? So these are the peculiar features of the prophase. Condensation of chromatin material, which results in the formation of chromosomes. Disintegration of the nuclear membrane. Disintegration of the Golgi apparatus, ER, nucleolus. Okay, and then the centrioles, they will start moving towards the opposite poles, and then there is initiation of the formation of microtubules. Clear? Now let us talk about the second phase, that is metaphase. Now, if I talk about the metaphase, meta means at the center. So basically a peculiar character of this stage is that the chromosomes, they will align themselves at the center, or I can say they will align themselves at the metaphasic plate. Now let me again show this with a diagram. Here I am showing the early metaphase, and there I will draw the late metaphase, the cell in the late metaphase. Clear? Now, as you had read that in late prophase, basically the nuclear membrane starts disintegrating, and before the early metaphase there is no nuclear membrane. So now what I have to do, the chromosomes are present directly in the cytoplasm like this. As there is no nuclear membrane to bound the chromosomes, so chromosomes are scattered inside the cytoplasm like this. Clear? So now what will happen basically in this stage, as I told you, in the late prophase, the centrioles, they started moving towards the opposite poles and there is formation of the spindle fibers. Now actually what will happen in the metaphase, the spindle fibers, they will start attaching with the kinetochore. Now what do you mean by kinetochore? If I draw the structure of a chromosome, it is having a centromere at the center, and with that two sister chromatids are attached. Clear? Now if you see on this centromere, there are disc-like proteinaceous structure. At the surface of this centromere, there are present disc-like proteinaceous structure, and these disc-like structures, they are known as kinetochore. So kinetochore, these are basically disc-like proteinaceous structure that are present at the surface of the centromere, and they serve as the site for the attachment of the spindle fibers. Now what will happen, the spindle fibers, they will attach with the kinetochore. So now let me draw the chromosomes like this. Now this kinetochore will be attached with both the poles. Okay. Like suppose here I am drawing the first chromosome, suppose second, third. You can draw it anywhere because as you know there is no nuclear membrane, so the chromosomes are scattered in the cytoplasm. You can draw it anywhere in the cytoplasm, okay, like this. Now the kinetochore at one end, it will be attached to the one pole with the help of the spindle fibers, and then again this kinetochore will be attached with the help of spindle fibers to the opposite pole like this. This is basically a 3D structure. Okay. Now again with this, it is attached with the first pole and then it is attached with the second pole. Okay. If I talk about this chromosome, the same thing is there. This is attached with this and this is attached with this. Again I'm saying this is a 3D structure. Clear? Again this chromosome, if I talk about the kinetochore, is attached with this pole like this, and here the kinetochore is attached with this pole, so like this. So now basically what is happening in the early metaphase, the spindle fibers, they get attached with the kinetochore. Now what these spindle fibers will do, they will push and pull the chromosomes, which will result in aligning the chromosomes along the center. Okay, and the plane in the center where the chromosomes will align, that plane is known as metaphasic plane. So basically now what will happen, all the chromosomes, they will align at the center like this in the late metaphase. Now all the chromosomes are at the center like this, and this is known as the metaphasic plate. Like this. Clear? And as you know, centriosa here, one end is attached with this spindle, second is attached like this. Am I clear? So this is the peculiar character of the phase, metaphase. Spindle fibers, they will start attaching with the kinetochore, and then second, the chromosomes, they will align themselves towards the center, and that is known as metaphasic plate. Clear? Now let us talk about the third phase, that is anaphase. Now what will happen in metaphase, actually suppose I am drawing a chromosome. In the metaphase you had seen all the chromosomes, they are at the center and they are attached with the spindle fiber. So suppose I am drawing one chromosome. First chromatid, second chromatid, and here is the centromere. Clear? Now as you know, from one end it is attached with the one pole, and from the other end it is attached with the second pole. So what is happening in anaphase, basically there is splitting of centromere. Am I clear? Like this. There is splitting of centromere, and as a result these two chromatids, they will get separate. Am I clear? It will like this only. There is splitting of the centromere, and then the two chromatids will get separate like this. Suppose this is the first and this is the second. Am I clear? Now what will happen, as you know, they are attached with the spindle fiber. So this chromosome will start moving towards one pole, and this will start moving towards the another pole. Am I clear? Now let me draw this with a diagram inside a cell. So here is a cell. Okay, centriosa here. Now I told you spindle fibers are there. But now what is happening, basically there is splitting of the centromere. Now chromatids are being separated. First chromatid is pulled by this and second is pulled by this. It will be like this, means the centromere will be towards the pole and the two arms, they will be lagging behind like this. Clear? In the similar way, the centromere is towards the pole and the two arms are lagging behind. So basically this is happening in the anaphase. There is splitting of the centromere and the chromatids get separate. Am I clear? So now let us talk about the another phase, that is telophase. Now basically in the telophase, whatever is happening, it is happening just reverse of the things that happened in the prophase. As I told you, in prophase the nuclear membrane will get disintegrate. So in the telophase the nuclear membrane will get reformed. Then in prophase I told you there will be condensation of chromatin material. Now again in telophase what will happen? The chromosomes, they will lose their identity and now they will become as chromatin material. Then in prophase I told you the nucleolus, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, they will start deforming. Now in the telophase they will again reform. So now what will happen actually? Suppose here is the cell. As you know, in the anaphase, the chromatids basically, now they are known as the chromosomes of the future daughter cell. So basically they have reached the opposite poles you had seen in the anaphase. Now when the chromosomes will reach, no doubt earlier we had said chromatids had reached the opposite poles, but now they will be called as the chromosomes of the daughter cells. Now as the chromosomes had reached the poles, now they will start losing their identity. Okay, now they will be no in the form of discrete unit. They will be in the form of like this, chromatin material. Okay, like this. And then I told you there will be formation of nuclear membrane. That's it. So this is the telophase. Formation of the nuclear membrane, and the chromosomes will lose their identity as discrete unit. Am I clear? So basically I told you these four phases, that is prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. These all result in karyokinesis, that is division of nucleus, and you can see we had started from the one nucleus and now the one nucleus is divided into the two nucleus, that is karyokinesis. Now the next is left cytokinesis, that is division of cell. Now here there must be division of the cell, so that this cell must be divided into two daughter cells. Clear? Now the cytokinesis takes place in different ways in animals and in plants. Now if I talk about animals, in animals there is a furrow formation from the sides, like here at the sides. So there will be furrow formation like this. Now what will happen? This furrow will keep on deepening like this, and ultimately they will join. And result is the cell will divide into two daughter cells. Clear? Like this, first cell and then second cell. Am I clear? There will be distribution of all other organelles also. Now if I talk about the plant cells, then plant cells, they are having cell wall that is somewhat inextensible. So in them it is not possible furrow formation from the sides because of the cell wall. So in plants actually what is happening, there is formation of cell wall, and that cell wall is formed from the center. Earlier in the plant, in the animals you had seen, there was a furrow formation from the sides. Now in case of the plants, there is cell wall formation, but that is forming from the center and then that is going towards the sides, and the precursor of that cell wall is cell plate. So there is formation of cell wall and it will start moving like this. And ultimately what happens? It will divide into two daughter cells, that is cytokinesis. So basically this is the M phase. There is division. Okay. Firstly karyokinesis, there is division of the nucleus. After that there is cytokinesis, that is division of the cell. Now if I talk about the significance of mitosis. So firstly, as you know, mitosis is known as equational division. Equational division means the number of chromosomes in the parent and in the daughter cell remains the same. Like if the parent is having 46 number of the chromosomes, and by mitosis you know one cell will divide into two daughter cells. So if the parent is dividing into two daughter cells, the first daughter cell and the second daughter cell. So mitosis is equational division. So basically the number of chromosomes in the daughter cell is same as the number of the chromosomes in the parent cell. So as the parent cell is having 46 chromosomes, so this daughter cell will also be having 46 chromosome, and this daughter cell is also having 46 chromosome. Clear? Mitosis also helps in the growth of an organism from a single celled zygote. Mitosis results in the formation of a huge body that consists of millions of cells. Clear? Mitosis also helps in repairing. Am I clear? Mitosis helps in the maintaining nucleocytoplasmic ratio. If I talk about the plants, you know, in the plants meristematic tissue is present. In that meristematic tissue, mitosis is going on, with the help of which the plant is able to grow. Clear? Thank you.